Good morning, fools. Welcome to the All Jammed Up podcast presented to you by Music Never Stopped. I'm your host, Clint.
I'm your co-host, Chloe, and we got a twofer.
Well, we're all jammed up and we're ready to blast. It's time for Clint and Chloe's Music Podcast.
That we do. We have Tyler Gwynn from Jammy Buffet, and then we have LaRue Allegretto.
Allegretto.
So I think I might have butchered that name. Sorry, LaRue. A beautiful name.
Do you remember back in like the Degrassi days, there was that singer LaRue? Been there, done that, mess around. I'm having fun. Don't let me down, and I'm in there, you swim me on my feet.
I did never watch Degrassi.
Never watched Degrassi?
Nope.
I liked Degrassi.
I didn't explain who LaRue is though.
No.
So Tyler has been on the podcast. I do like that song though.
It is a good one. I sang it perfectly.
You did. I'll give you that. Tyler has been on the podcast a number of times now. This will be his third time on, but his first time with just him, and he also saw for his first time Phish over New Year's at MSG. So what a better place to recap your first time seeing Phish than on the All Jammed Up podcast.
Where we haven't seen Phish.
We haven't seen Phish. We got to prepare ourselves. And then if you haven't heard of it yet, there's a new show coming out later this year called Wooking for Love. And LaRue is like the mastermind behind this. It's like similar to like a Love Island type thing, except it's out of Denver. It's legit too. Like I saw it on Instagram like back in the beginning of December, and then like it had like 500-600 followers. I was like, oh, that's a funny idea.
Yeah.
Hit him up like immediately, and then by the time we were able to find a time to do it,
It took off.
he had like 4,000 followers already. And I think his main social media is TikTok, which we don't use, so I don't know what's going on there. But really funny concept. It's legit. He's obviously excited about it. So I was like, you know what? Let me get that guy on. Let him tell it better than I can. And hopefully we'll be kind of working with him a little bit because it's a cool idea. I think it's going to be really funny. And like the way he talks about it's great too. And then Tyler, great chat with Tyler.
Yeah.
And,
that was a fun one. Again, this was one I had privy to half the conversation of because it was virtual, but great guy. I think he's so funny.
He's the best.
It's nice that you two have kind of formed a bit of a relationship outside of the music. You kind of chat a lot these days, I feel.
Yeah, we do go back and forth. We have quite a few, not a bunch of topics, but a few.
I got a good handful.
A good handful,
Well,
yeah.
if you were to be given it in your hand, you would say, oh, okay.
Do we want to cover those in the back or the front?
We can hit them in the back. They all kind of meld together, I feel.
Yeah, it does. So, buckle in. We got a twofer for you. We're going to do Tyler first. That's the longer one. And then LaRue on the back end. See you soon.
Honey, you're listening to some all jammed up.
No, I'm in Denver, but I'm house sitting my friend's house.
And you live
So-
in Denver, right?
I do, yeah. So I've lived in Denver now 6 or 7 years, something like that. Colorado as a whole for like 14.
Where are you
Yeah.
from originally?
I'm from Massachusetts. I grew up on Cape Cod,
Okay.
so
Yeah,
Falmouth
I knew that.
specifically. And then I went to school in Boulder, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit. I was like, this seems pretty cool. Like the mountains, the biking, like I love the outdoors. So it was just like, I kind of nailed it on the first try.
And were you like, I think maybe we talked about it. See, that's the thing about like, this is the third interview we've done now, but the
Yes,
first one was
yeah.
just one-on-one, so it's like kind of just about you instead of the whole band.
Yeah, so ask me anything about the guys. I'll give you honest takes. I'll give you...
Were you always like a jam band guy, or did you kind of
No,
start
not at
falling
all.
into this? Yeah, because you were just
No,
you were just a gig, right?
Well, like, I mean, that's kind of I've said that, and it's kind of a joke, but it's like, I grew up like an emo and hardcore and punk kid. Like,
Okay.
Taking Back Sunday was the second most listened to band on my Spotify Wrap this year.
This year.
Like, yeah, like I'm very much a case study on the it's not a phase thing. I listened to that stuff. I did listen, but I also really listened to a lot of like, I remember I went through a huge Galactic phase. Like my drum teacher, this guy John Jameson, really opened my eyes when I was like 15 or 16 to a lot of different music. And so he showed me some jazz. He showed me funk through like Galactic, some of like their stuff like that. And so I started to get more exploratory with music then. And then when I also, like Dave Matthews was a huge influence on me, um, as most kids who went to prep school would say. Yeah. Then I went to Colorado and kind of was thrown into the deep end of like bluegrass and jam grass, and so I kind of didn't really get into jam band music until um, probably I was in college, like
Okay.
really. And then from there, I just got a crash course in it from my bandmates showing me stuff, taking me to shows. Like one of the first concerts I ever went to in Boulder was Kyle Hollingsworth Band at the Fox.
Nice.
So it was just, yeah, I like definitely was given the made up for lost time.
Who was your first played on Spotify? Was that Jammy Buffett?
No, he was like third. It was the Menzingers. Do you know the Menzingers?
Okay. I know who they are, but I've never really listened to them.
Okay, so this is my pitch on the Menzingers. I think they're like the greatest band out there right now because they
They're like
are
older,
like,
right?
yeah, but their music kind of matches their age. Like a lot of these bands that I grew up listening to, like Taking Back Sunday, for instance, they some of their songs when you hear them play it, you're like, this is about like heartache, like high school heartache, and it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You're like 40, but the Menzingers, like their album, they have this album After the Party, which is like I probably, if I could burn a hole into it, listening to it on Spotify, I did. It's like, it is punk rock that is written about being in your 30s. So there's like a song, I think it's called Midwestern States, and it's all about not being able to find a job in the city you're living in, and so you have to move to find a new job. Like it's just like adult things like that, and
Do they
yeah,
tour
like,
still?
oh yeah, I'm seeing them in March.
Okay.
I might try to see them like a couple times this year. Yeah, but it's I think, and then yeah, of course, like Jimmy Buffett was like I think third or fourth just from having
Mm.
to like learn all this. I started to now I just have, like I was listening to is it Pink Crustacean or I can't remember. I was listening to one album today, but yeah.
Chloe and I were like blown away from your guys' show, honestly, especially
Oh, thank you.
Big
That was a
Mickey,
fun
dude.
one.
Big
Yeah,
Mickey
Big
is star of
Mickey,
the
dude.
show,
Dude,
dude.
he's sleeper like the secret weapon of Denver. Like I've been playing with him. So I met him when I was in Boulder, and so we've known each other for like 10 years. And he has always, every band he's in, he has just been that like the glue guy musically.
Yeah.
Like he just can do anything. Me and Cooney and my friend Kevin Hinder, whose house I'm in right now, uh, we have like a side project thing called Cashmere Sweater. And Mickey is like, he's kind of basically a member of it because we'll play songs and we're like, I don't know what instrument is even playing this or like this synth line or, um, and we just like yell, we like give him a shout and we're like, hey, can you learn this part? And he's like, yeah, give me like an hour. Like we played Bob O'Reilly by The Who.
Hmm.
And at the end, that like fiddle solo that's
Yeah.
like going crazy, he just learned that note for note on his Iwi.
Dude, that's a crazy ass instrument.
Yeah, dude, the Iwi, it's like, it's almost funny. Every show we play when it's like a newer audience, um, there's this moment when he first takes a solo on it, and you see the whole crowd like, "What is good?" What? Like,
I was
actually, one.
enamored by it.
Well, so we played. I think it was Louisville. I got to say it right, Louisville.
Hmm.
And so we run on in ears. So there's like our mix going to us, and the mix going to the house. And something had happened, and the Iwi wasn't coming through the mains. And so we were hearing him rip a solo and we're jamming and we're like vibing and no one, and it's just everyone's watching him play this thing and no sound is coming out. So the whole audience is like, you could see them like, what? Like, everyone, like, we're all stoked. And
He's
they're like,
like
what
kind
is
of
going on?
animated too, so it's probably
Yeah,
even
yeah, yeah.
crazier.
It was so we like listened back. We're like, oh yeah, you didn't. No one could hear you for like 5 minutes or something.
The like chemistry you guys have on stage though is pretty unmatched. Like Bob's doing like a whole stand-up routine kind of.
Yeah,
Cooney's like just really getting into it, and then you have your couple solos that are really fun. So like it all works really well together.
yeah. It's a fun crew, man. It's like I think we all, because what's interesting is like Bob kind of brought us together. He like came up with the concept and
Hmm.
then was like, these are the dudes. He wants to be part of it. And so we kind of like obviously Cooney and I have known each other, and Mickey I've known those guys the longest. Brendan I met at our Nashville show, and we just kind of hit it off immediately. And I think we all kind of are coming into it with the same kind of mindset, and we have years of experience. So we're like, it's a little different than just like friends starting a band and becoming it. Like we're all kind of excited about this new concept that we're being brought into, and
Hmm.
have like a really good. We have a good. We all have a good head on each other's shoulders. It's
Yeah,
nice. It's a really fun environment to play in.
I bet too. Like putting, like understanding that you're all doing it to like serve like Jimmy Buffett's music. It kind of like removes all ego. If there's no one's writing music, it's kind of like this is the purpose of doing this. So it kind of probably makes that dynamic a little easier too.
I think too, it's like, yeah, we're serving. It sounds so heady, but it's like we're serving something bigger than us, where it's like
Yeah.
we're playing. I think it's like we're playing music that means a lot to people. So we need to do our best, and it's the only way we're going to do that is if we support each other and work hard at it. And I think
Was that
the
difficult for you at first with like, you have guys like Bob and Brendan who like have been like surrounded by it their whole life and they ask you to do this thing where like you may not have really like quote unquote got it yet. Was it kind of hard for you starting out with that?
I think it was what was interesting is I wouldn't say it was hard because I had been, I had known about the music, so I was like,
Hmm.
and it was sounded like a fun gig, and we had some really fun ones right up top, like right off the bat. So I was excited about the gig. I think as it got more and more, like more momentum behind it, there was some moments where you're like, am I really wanting to do that? Like you have to really check in with yourself and be like,
Yeah.
is this something I want to do? And I think honestly, it's like just not just the reaction from Jimmy Buffett fans, but just like anyone who sees us, it's like if I get the chance to, original music or a cover band, if I get a chance to create that energy and give people that experience, like that's kind of the goal, like that's kind of what what it's about. And I have, it's kind of not a lot of people get to do that. Not a lot of people get to play and have such a positive reaction from people. So that kind of is something I don't take for granted, and I want to make sure I bring my A game for. So yeah, it's like as long as we don't put the pressure on ourselves and make sure at the end of the day we're having fun, it kind of translates to everyone else.
Hmm. Yeah, and you guys just released your dates the other day for like a winter spring tour.
Yeah,
Nothing in
yeah. So
Nashville. What's up with that?
in due time, there's stuff in the works.
Okay. And how
I
about
love
Florida
it.
dates? You guys belong to
Yeah,
Florida,
Florida.
so how about Florida
I don't know if
dates?
you know this, but Jimmy Buffett's pretty big in Florida. Um, we're doing we're working with a great crew out there, Duderman, who is putting on a bunch of shows with us, and but we're doing like a bunch of Florida dates. We're doing like Chicago,
Where are
Milwaukee,
y'all playing in
Madison,
Chicago? Are you guys doing the Garcia's
Garcia's.
place? Fuck
Yeah,
yeah, that's cool.
dude, I'm so stoked because I used to play Martyrs up there, and
Okay.
that was a really fun club. But I hear that Garcia's is like the spot now.
Hmm.
I think like Dogs and Paw just did like someone was saying they did like 5 nights there or something.
I think they had a residency there in November where they played like 2 nights for 3 weeks, I think is what it was.
Damn, that's awesome. Yeah,
Have you seen those
I
guys yet?
a couple times. Yeah, they've come through Denver last few years. I've seen them. They're awesome. I mean, those guys. Um, like just as ja- jamming aside, like their musicianship is incredible. Like they're all individually so good at their instruments,
Yeah.
and sometimes that doesn't. Sometimes people can be too good when they're all together. You know, like
Hmm.
that they're all lead players at the same time, and they just are so good at melding and playing together. It's been fun. The time I went to their Bluebird show when they were here,
Okay.
so that was
Yeah,
really
they're
cool.
about to do 2 nights in Asheville, and then they're doing a festival in Atlanta the day after that we already got tickets to. So we'll get three dog shows in a row coming up soon, which stoked.
How is Asheville doing, by the way? Is it like I know the floods were that was that 2 years ago, last
It
year?
was 20 October 2024, or September 2024, somewhere between there. And
Yeah,
Asheville itself is good. I mean, we moved here like right when that was happening. I've told this story on the podcast a bunch, so I'm not gonna tell again. But
yeah.
but we moved here like right during that, and we were coming from St. Pete, so it was kind of like damned if you do, damned if you don't. We were just like fucked both ways. But Asheville itself seems good, but the surrounding areas, like some of the smaller towns that are a little more
Yeah.
rural, are like still not exactly to where they were. But it seems like Asheville kind of got the funding and the help they needed to kind of get back to where they need to be.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I've played a bunch in Nashville, and I love that city.
Hmm.
It's it's just got a special energy. It reminds me a lot
Yeah.
of Boulder. It's like very kind of hidden little hippie enclave. That's not hidden anymore, unfortunately. But it's I love it. I've done the is it the White Eagle
Gray
Hall,
Eagle.
Gray
Gray
Eagle.
Eagle.
Sorry,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, that's a good spot.
Yeah, and the salvage station, like that was the one of the big reasons we moved here was a salvage station. It
Yeah.
was washed away with the flood.
Well, they
But
just are they opening another thing or
yeah,
something?
they just announced, I think it's an indoor, maybe a smaller venue. I don't know like all the details about it, but they did just announce that pretty recently that they're doing it in like I think it's just like an old factory building out in the River Arts District.
That's awesome. I mean, that's like it's good to see that like something like that is coming back because
Hmm.
I'm very bummed I never got to play the salvage like the original salvage station I guess now and but you know for my friends who did it sounded like the one of the best stops in the country.
Yeah. And the tour is exciting, but what caught my eye that you guys announced this week, I never heard of this festival, but the Levitate Festival.
Yeah, yeah. So that's cool because that's like right where kind of close to where I grew up. So
Okay.
um, yeah, Levitate. It's run by a group called Ineffable and it's yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it was so we played it last year. We were kind of thrown on it, and I didn't realize like how big it was. Like I had heard about it. I'd had some friends' bands play it from back home, and then we showed up, and it was like, oh wow, this is like a huge, like it's like massive.
I mean,
And
there's some good names on the lineup, dude. Like
yeah, like
outside of the
Atlanta. Like
Jammy
I think we're
Buffet.
playing the same day as Alanis Morissette, which like
That's fire. I love Alanis Morissette.
yeah, it's like that's so sick. Like I was, you know, so I got, and I have a pretty big family, so I think we're getting the whole team out for that one. That's gonna be fun. I mean, one of the things I do love about this gig is getting to play back in New England,
Hmm.
because you know, it's a special place, and I'm very happy to have been from there. So it's like getting the chance to play and. Especially like levitate, and we have some other stuff in the works out there that it's not announced yet, but yeah, I'm stoked for that. Yeah, like, and they own a venue too, and a clothing company. They're like a one-stop shop for everything.
Levitate is the brand name?
Levitate is the brand. Yeah, so they have a venue. It's like a surf shop and a festival,
Okay.
and I think they own like a T-shirt. They like do like drop shipping for companies too. They're rad. The hospitality there was awesome. I love it. I'm so stoked for that festival.
Dude, that's a word that gets thrown out all the time. Drop shipping. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, to be fair, I repeat it. I have no I
Yeah,
you know, I'm just like a mime of like or just a mimic. I don't know. I'm like a parrot.
that's like one
It's
of
like,
those things I see on like Instagram, like drop ship a new hustle in 2026, and I'm like, I don't know
dude,
what the
not
fuck
okay.
this means.
These Instagram people need to calm down. Like it's like no one they can't all be that rich. Like they like have you ever seen the dude Andy Elliott?
Is he the bald dude?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
dude, he is. So I have my buddy Harrison in this band Deer Creek Sharpshooters. our Instagram back and forth is just us sending videos of that guy.
Have
It
you
is
seen
like,
Luke Belmar?
no, is he crazy?
Dude, that's my favorite guy. He's like, I think now he kind of uses like shit on people for being poor, and he'd be like,
Yeah, I love. They're just not. They're all like morally terrible people.
and he would just be like, picture this, me in the war room drinking Johnny Walker Blue, and he's like, the difference between me and you have ideas, I have actions, and just like shit like that. And I think now he's like broke, and he's like, I'm actually really religious now. That's what you.
Oh yeah, no, it's they either go to jail for fraud or they become super religious. That's the only two outcomes for
Yeah,
those guys. Like Andy Elliott, the thing I love about, and I don't love is like in an ironic way, but it's just like when he gets backed into a corner, he just like body shames people. He'll just be like, this guy's like, I don't think it's physical. He's like, I couldn't sell 100 cars in a month. Like, I don't think you could do that. And Andy Elliott would be like, yeah, well, you're fat, so I don't. Like, he's like, it's just like, I just like people who are like, yeah, it's like, yeah, if you're gonna be just a piece of shit, like, say, like, take it all the way home. It's hilarious.
yeah, man. I need to. My algorithm's kind of switched lately to like just music and like recipes, and I need to
Dude, I need to
curate
get on the
it.
recipe game.
Dude, it's a
Are you
process
trying to
because
cook more this year? Is that,
I
are you
cook
trying
a
to do that?
I cook a lot as it is. I kind of like to just watch watch the recipes and just I never really do anything with them. I just watch them and I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, that would be awesome to have.
Well, and they're so beautiful the way they like cook and they like, there's like, they cook aesthetically pleasing. Their
Yeah.
cooking is aesthetically pleasing. Whereas like when I try to make something, it looks like a crime scene halfway through.
And I'm
And
also
and I,
like impatient, so like it'll be like bake this for an hour and a half, and I'll be like 50 minutes is the best I'm gonna do.
yeah, it's like yeah, who has time to do these like 3 hour recipes? Although that's why
Maybe
I need to get a crock pot. Do you have a crock pot?
the crock pot is fire. I actually just made a roast in one on my crock pot on like Tuesday. Some celery, carrots, potatoes, onions, poured some red wine in it, let it simmer all day.
Oh
Tender
my
beef.
goodness.
The potatoes soak up all the red wine, and you put some vinegar in there too.
Well, when we come to Asheville, you're making us dinner.
Dude, done. Deal.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
Dude, I was just in New York and I think it's so funny with all the food options out there. I ate bagel sandwiches for like 2 out of 3 meals every day.
Dude, I have this saved thing on my Instagram. It's just sandwiches in New York. Because me and
Yeah.
Chloe are like, one day we're gonna go to vacation for New York and just like eat for like 5 days.
Dude, have you ever seen Sandwiches of History?
No.
So there's this guy, Cooney and I had a back and forth because Cooney makes seasoning. Fun
Okay.
fact. Cooney makes it's called Andrew's Savory Seasoning, ass. So you got to get
Nice.
that ass.
I was about to
And
say that's not a creative name at all, but that makes more
no,
sense.
yeah. But this guy, Sandwiches of History, we tried to get him to use Andrew's seasoning, but he will find recipes from like 1902 and just be like, yeah, I'm going to make this sandwich that was like Queen Victoria's favorite sandwich. And it's always like so gnarly sometimes. It's like,
Are they
you
good?
know, some of them are good, and sometimes he's like, "This is terrible," and then he'll plus it up, and he just like adds hot sauce every
That
time.
makes everything better though.
Yeah, it's so much better. But yeah, Sandwiches of History, that's one to check out.
Sandwiches
He goes
everything
on
better.
tour and like makes sandwiches live. Like,
Dude, that's like my dream job.
yeah, we're getting there.
You talked about New York, and 20 minutes into the conversation, that's the reason we did this, is to talk about
Yeah,
the run you just had.
yeah.
To Phish, and that was your. So you are not like before seeing Phish, you weren't like a Phish guy, right?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this one.
Well, here,
My
let me back
my
you up
jam
real
band
quick.
cred is going out the window this entire.
People who listen to the podcast know I still have not seen Phish, so my jam band credibility is also in the toilet. But
Yeah.
Chloe and I have decided 2026, the year of Phish, we're gonna make it happen. And I like Phish. Some of the stuff's a little goofy for me, but I do think that they're all really good musicians, and I want to see them. But yeah, go ahead and continue what you're saying.
Yeah, so I mean, I would agree with you. Like, I don't think I've ever put Phish on, but I've never asked to turn it off. You know, like
Yeah.
I enjoy it when it's on. People will have it on. I used to work for a guy who I worked at like a shipping store, and he would just watch shows all day. You know, just like Phish shows. He would go from
Yeah.
one to the next to the next. So I, through osmosis, have gathered it over the years. But yeah, I wasn't really planning on it, and then my friend Lucas had a ticket for me for the Monday night, and so I took the train down. I was in Massachusetts, took the train down, met up with some friends. Um, it was a really fun time. Like I definitely get why people spend so much time and effort to go to a lot of shows. You know, I think very similar to the Jimmy Buffett thing. It's like the music is only 60 to 70% of it.
Yeah.
The meeting, the traveling, the getting the Airbnb together, the meeting up before the show, meeting up after, like it's the whole communal experience. And so that was really cool to see. Um, you know, musically, I mean, they are incredible. Like they're so tight, their transitions, the way they just seamlessly would cut into a new song or drop in and out of stuff. It was really impressive and really inspiring. Um, you know, going 2 nights definitely gave me the ability to compare and contrast. So it was awesome. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna go out of my way to see him again, but it was an incredible experience to kind of like finally see what everyone was talking about. Why it
Well, it was
took
good
me.
enough you went the second night too, right?
Well, yeah, someone just had a ticket for me, and I had nothing
Oh,
else to
okay.
do. So it's like, yeah, like, yeah. I mean, my friend had a ticket, and it was. I mean, the night two was way jammier, and it was really cool to see that and just see how they just like how they work. You know, I'm the guy at a show who is sitting there with his arms crossed in the back, just staring at the stage, and I could be having the greatest night of my life, but like I'm there kind of like studying a little, you know, like seeing
Mhm.
how this, like trying to pick up on the cues and figure out what the kind of like the secret sauce is, and that was a really interesting time to see that.
Was there anything that you picked
And the
up?
people watching is crazy.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Was there anything you picked up from the drummer Fishman?
Yeah, so my friend Daniel asked me this too because I saw him at the show, and I think the way I described it was he's very precise. Like he's very every movement he's making is exactly what he means to do, and by that I mean like my drumming. I'm a little bit chaotic. I'm just like kind of wiggly armed and like hitting shit and just like kind of going after it. Where it felt like everything there weren't extra notes. There wasn't any fat to his playing. It was all really precise. His fills were exactly what needed to be going on in the song. You know, it was very surgical, and I really learned. I took a lot from that. You know, I think there's especially with drumming, it's such an easy instrument to overplay, and I fall prey to that trap more often than I don't. And so seeing him just kind of keep time and keep groove and his choice of fills and his choice of how he filled was really interesting. Um, it was a cool takeaway for that and gave me something to kind of work on and think about.
What is so when you mean like overplaying is usually I guess just kind of break that down for like a non-musician. Like where can like why is that bad and what do you do to fix it, I guess?
Yeah, so like, you know, if you think about drums, like the point of drums at its bare bones, its bare minimum is to keep time and keep groove, you know, and it works hand in hand with the bass doing that. And so through that, you you can think about drumming as just keeping the beat is like the minimum level one skeleton crew. That's what you have to do. And then on top of that, you can add fills. And fills would be leading into a chorus, out of a verse, filling dead space, you know, just like around the horn stuff, cymbals, things like that. And it's weird, and this is like a very common thing with drummers where keeping time and not doing fills is like sometimes the hardest thing to do. Like there's a drummer, Steve Jordan, who played with like John Mayer. He's now playing with Rolling Stones, but he can do. It's like he'll blow drummers' minds, and he's just keeping time, just like boom, ka, boom, boom, ka, boom, and his attitude and his like dynamics of that, it blows people away because like a lot of guys think they need to be playing a lot of notes and hitting them with the razzle dazzle all the time. And really, it's hard to just kind of keep it in and kind of keep it meditative in that groove thing.
In like a less
So,
is more sense.
oh my God, yeah, I think that's like the secret. Like if you think about, I'm trying to think of a good example, but I mean, a lot of good music and a lot of good solos, especially like solos and lead lines and stuff. It's very, it's a lot of, it's not just the notes you play, it's the notes that you don't play that are as important. And it builds tension and it builds dynamics. And so there's like a good example would be like the War on Drugs. You know that band?
I know who they are. I don't really listen to them, but I know that name.
I would definitely listen to their live album, Live Drugs. It's kind of cool. They don't like jam, but they open up the songs. But their drummer, that guy plays like two fills a concert. Like he's just all meat and potatoes playing. And there's one song called Under Pressure or Under the Pressure. And he's just at one point he's just hitting the hi-hat and it's like everyone else has dropped out and it leads into this big fill. But he takes like 2 minutes to get to the fill and you can feel the room just ready to explode right as he's doing it. So it's kind of a you don't. Sorry, I'm watching my friend's dogs. They're barking. Yeah, they just like and I think Fishman was really good at that. Where like there were moments where he has the skill, ability, and time to just you know shred all the notes and play a bunch of things, but he kind of keeps the groove and keeps the energy and takes his ego out of it. And I think that's something really, really that I took home a lot.
Yeah. So you did 2 nights of Phish and then a palate cleanser. You went to Frasco New Year's Eve?
Yeah, yeah. So I decided, yeah. So I,
That was a
because
party,
Cooney is,
sir.
yeah, that was those guys. Those guys are like so amazing. And
Is
Cooney is
Cooney
now
really in
like,
that band?
yeah. So Cooney writes with Frasco, and now he's full time with Frasco.
Okay.
So he plays rhythm guitar with him, and he's crushing it, dude. I'm so stoked for that guy.
Is
He
Shawn Eccles
is.
still in the band too?
He got injured, so he
Okay,
had
he's
to
still
he
injured.
hurt
Okay.
his knee, which like if you've seen their show, makes complete sense. Like,
That's
it's
what I was
like,
gonna say. Is like
yeah.
Frasco, Cooney, and Shawn Eccles would be like a party, just the three of them.
Oh, it is. Yeah, those guys know how to have a good time. But but yeah, so I went to the Brooklyn Bowl, with, and it was, yeah, those guys are, I mean, it is, it's crazy because if you're in the crowd, it kind of looks like complete chaos. Like it's nuts. Like it is the craziest live show out there. But they are some of the best musicians in the scene, and they're all so accomplished and so good at what they do. Like they literally at one point all switched instruments and just started shredding. Like that
That's pretty
band
cool. Yeah,
is,
it's pretty cool.
I've seen them so much over the last few years, and every time I have such a blast. But yeah, that New Year's that went late. That one, that was a long night. Um, yeah, I mean, but what's crazy about New York is like I left at like 3 a.m. and it was still like lively as if it was like 11 p.m.
I
It's
watched the Hunger Games and was in bed by 11:15 on New Year's Eve.
honestly it's pretty chill night, pretty nice. I'm okay with it. I A couple years ago, I remember it was like right. I think it was when I turned 30, like in my like last year, and I went for a bike ride on New Year's Eve, like a big one with my buddy, and then I fell asleep at 8 p.m. and woke up to my neighbors all screaming at midnight, and I was just like, "What the heck is going on?" It's like I was like, "Oh man, I'm becoming like old and lame." Like, I was like,
Well, I had a good run. I did 3 years ago. I did Green Sky Bluegrass, and then the year after that, I did Billy Strings, and then I did Billy Strings again last year, and then Billy Strings didn't do anything this year. Well, he did Widespread, but I wasn't privy to that at the time, and I worked the next
are
day.
you
So
are you a Widespread Panic fan?
I
Where do
do
you
like.
live in the J? Are you mostly a bluegrass guy?
So I got into jam band because of Grateful Dead, and then that was
Hmm.
like all I listened to for like 3 years was like just the Grateful Dead. Honestly, the first year I listened to the Grateful Dead was probably just one show. I was just like,
Really?
yeah, I just was obsessed with Benita Organ, and
Do you
then
just what about? Do you find yourself doing that a lot with music, where like you hyperfixate on like a song or a show, and you just kind of like wring it out of for everything it's worth?
yeah, right now I'm like kind of stuck on Dogs in a Pile. That's like kind of
Yeah.
what I'm listening to a lot of. But yeah, I'm more like I don't want to say I'm more one way or the other, but like definitely I like the Jamgrass stuff a lot. But I also like Dogs in a Pile. I love Daniel Donato's Cosmic Country. I like Kendall Street Company a lot.
Oh, those
So
dudes are the best.
yeah, so I'm kind of like a little bit all over the place. I will say like when I don't feel like looking for something, I will just put on Billy Strings or Grateful Dead. That's kind of like always
Yeah.
my default. But now like
I
doing the podcast and meeting so many more people and like I'll like, I do so many podcasts, I just have to interview whoever I can. And I like to try to listen to a band before I interview them. So from that, I've kind of learned a lot more of what I like too.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes sense. Isn't the Kendall Street guys? They're playing your festival, right? Or did
Yeah,
they already?
they did last year, but they're doing it again this year.
Yeah,
They're
we did.
they're the homies, yeah.
We did a big tour. My old band, 10th Mountain Division. We did like an 8 week tour with them,
Okay.
and then we had like a week off, I think, and we stayed at Cooney's family's lake house together and just like hung tight. Those guys are rad, man. They're so fun. We
Yeah.
went golfing in like November, and it was like 30 degrees. It's like they're fun dudes. I
Yeah,
love them.
that festival that you guys are doing is the same weekend as the All Jammed Up one.
I know. I
Because
was
I
bummed
remember we
because
were
we were.
talking about it. Yeah.
I know, and I was like, I was looking at flights. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I feel like we could make this happen. I'm like, that's my bad. I'm always like down for if it's physically possible for us to do it. I think we could do it. Like, and I think the guys have to check me on that, rightfully so.
How much say do you like get in that? Now that you guys like have like an agent and all that, like if you're like, hey, I really want to do this show, are they kind of like, well, let's see what we can do? Or is it more like, no, we kind of have a map out of what we're gonna do?
It's well, so we have a really great team with
Hmm.
Wasserman, where like it's kind of both. Like they're very adamant on like, yeah, whatever. Like we work for you guys. Like let's do what happens. So for it, like the other day there was a festival that had reached out that I know the guys who throw it, and I like connected them. So I was like, it would be great if we could make this happen, and they just they come in with the expertise of like, well, we want to do all this stuff. It only makes sense to do this here. Like,
Hmm.
for instance, like certain regions work better in certain times of year. And so,
Okay.
until you're an automatic sellout everywhere, you kind of have to play the game, and they have been doing it forever. So they know how to position you well, who to talk to. They've been on the journey with many bands before, so they know the way to get there. And so it's kind of a give and take where they definitely give us the ability to say what we want to do, but they have the knowledge, and we always defer to their best judgment.
Okay. Yeah. Because I always wonder that, like, especially now with like booking this fest, like I try to go through the band as much as I can, and they're like, "Well,
Yeah,
hit up our agent." I'm like, "Fuck that, dude. Just me and you just work this out."
yeah. You're like, I'll give you an envelope of cash. Just
Yeah.
it's like,
And then they send me like this contract, and I sometimes don't think people know that like it's just me doing this. They're like they think it's like something bigger, and I'm like, "Hey, I don't know what any of this stuff means."
Yeah, I don't think many people do. I think
It's a
like
lot more of just I'm faking the definition of fake it till you make it for sure.
yeah, like even like when you send like a rider out, you're like, I feel like such like you're like asking for this stuff, and you're like, but if you don't have it, that's fine too. Like it's
Yeah,
you're like,
one of the bands sent me this, and I was just like, "Hey, man, I'll get you a few beers, but there's no way I'm getting you guys all this shit here." And
yeah,
he's like, "Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it."
yeah. I remember we played in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This is with again with 10th Mountain Division, my old band, and we sent. I think our rider was like it's like a case of beer, a cheese pizza, and a salad. And the person was like, "Oh, I thought that was for each member of the band." So we showed up, and there was like we each had our
80
own part.
beers.
There was like yeah, it was an absolute irresponsible amount of beer, um, which at the time was very helpful. But yeah, we each had a pizza. We each had we were like loading into the van, and we're like, "What do we do with all this stuff?"
That's hilarious. Okay, I got
Yeah,
a question for you. Being
yeah.
Phish 2025, we knocked that off the bucket list. As like a newer jam band guy, still sees some of these guys. Who in 2026 do we want to knock off that list?
Oh man. Um, I definitely want to see Billy again. I really enjoy his shows.
Hmm.
I saw him in Denver. I've seen him at least once when he comes to like when he did Ball Arena, and then when he did Fiddlers, I saw him once. Um, and then oh man, there was something that did just come up.
You could come to Asheville next month. Y'all are off during February.
Isn't he in? He's coming. I'm thinking about doing Nashville. Sorry, but
I think he is doing Nashville too. I think it's this like spring or winter tours like Athens, Atlanta, or
yeah.
Athens, Asheville, and Nashville, I believe.
Oh, you know which one I want to knock off? Panic at Red Rocks.
Okay, that would be sick.
Yeah, I've
Did
seen him
you
a couple
hear?
times.
Did you hear about the sex thing at the Panic show?
What? What happened?
You didn't hear about this?
The
So I
sex. All right.
guess.
First off, the mind wanders when you say the sex thing at the Panic show, and it is disgusting. Let me tell you, it's like
Let me find the thing on Instagram, like the give you the right thing real quick. That's what I should have led with was was there a sex scandal at the New Year's Fish show?
not
So
that I'm aware of.
there's a there's a text message. I wish I could share my screen with you, but there's like a text message thread, and it's just there were two people fucking in the pit. They got arrested and carried out. What the fuck? How did you find that out? My friends who were sitting up there, and multiple witnesses' accounts of people I don't even know. And then there's this long write up message that got sent to the account that posted it. I was standing right next to them, did not know them, but spoke to them a little before the show. They'd been dating for about 4 months, and it was their first time taking L in about 20 years. For the record, I had no problem with them fucking, but I'm pretty sure the guy on the other side was pissed. I told them that people were getting mad and to knock it off, or they were probably gonna have to move. The usher and security tried multiple times to get him to stop, and they just, all caps, could not stop fucking. My
How
husband
do
and
they?
I thought.
Okay, so when they say like so much to unpack already. First, I like the guy how he had to let you know. He's like, first off, I'm cool with it. Like I'm a hey, love is wild. But and
I feel
also
like
like
he kind of wanted an invite.
yeah, for sure. But the what when they say the ushers tried to stop them, like is it just like an old guy in a vest, like hey, quit it? Like it's like what do they?
Stop now.
Do they were they spraying water on them? Like what were they like? What was their end? Like what does it mean to they tried like it's like the guy left and he like came back and he's like I told you to stop. Like it's like
Just threw a towel on him.
yeah, like what like it's like what is that? Yeah, I mean it's their fault. Like I said, they couldn't
Let me
stop
finish
it.
reading it. It
Okay,
says,
okay.
"My husband and I thought it was hilarious." So it's a lady. My husband and I thought it was hilarious until the cop showed up, and that was a huge bummer. People at panic shows need to fucking chill out and let people fuck. And for the guy with lots of questions, the dude was in his seat and she was on top, assuming panties to the side.
God, that's some
It's panic, baby.
literary. That's Panic. Yeah. I mean, I
I'm on a desperate
yeah.
hunt to find these people and get them on the podcast.
Oh my God, I'm sure. Just fucking go to where's the next Panic show? Yeah, they like. Yeah,
So
they.
hopefully you can find them at Red Rocks when you go see them.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's. I mean, Panic Red Rocks is like. I've just heard the legend of how it's so crazy.
People
I mean,
say
all
that's like
Panic.
the wildest crowd. I mean, when I've only seen them one run, I saw them in Charleston this year, and like the second or third song into the first set, there's a guy getting carried out in a stretcher, and he's just like arms up, like rocking still, being carried out.
Yeah, I mean, I back when I was like back when I was like drinking and partying, I went saw them in Milwaukee, and it was just like an absolute. It was crazy. Like it's what I thought going into Phish was going to be like. It was just like chaos from every angle around me, and people just getting obliterated. Like it is. I mean, those guys. I hope they get a percent of bar sales because they earn it.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely want to see them again this year. So Panic's your 21, 26. Got to make it happen.
Yeah, I'd say Panic, and then
I want to see
I don't
King
know.
Giz.
Yeah, Giz. Oh yeah, Field Division. I think I'm gonna go to Field Division this year.
Okay, that's like
Um,
Buena Vista, right?
Buena Vista. Yeah, it's
Okay.
although I don't know if I say it right. It's kind of up for debate. I'm from New England, so I don't say anything right. But yeah, that seems. My good friend Maddie works on that, and it seems like they have it down to a science there. Like their scene seems so cool and so welcoming
Yeah.
and so awesome. I just want to.
They
I
don't
saw
tour
that.
that much though. It's like this year they play in Colorado and then like New York, and I think that's it for the whole year, unless they announce more
Oh,
dates. But
they'll probably announce more. I mean, like they don't. They're at the point where I mean, all those guys have like kids and stuff, so they kind of need to see their family. But they,
who needs to do that? Come on.
yeah, no, what idiots. But as I'm just like sitting in my, I'm not even in my own house. But um, yeah, like I saw them. So they did the like Red Rocks, where they did like 3 shows in one day, and I saw the Tuesday afternoon show at like it started at like noon or something, and the moment kicked off, I was like, oh, I'm in. Like King
Yeah,
Gizzard is the sickest band. Like
yeah. I need to
they
see them.
and they I mean they're the perfect example of like not giving a fuck and having a good product come out of that.
Hmm.
Like they are like they're gonna do whatever they want musically, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna give it 110%. They're not just gonna if they're gonna make a rave set, they're gonna learn how to like use like modular synths and stuff. Like they're gonna do it to the extreme, and I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
Well, dude, thanks for coming on and recapping Fish and everything else. I know
of
Jammy
course, man.
Buffett's got a big few months coming up here. Is there anything else that you want to plug before we wrap up here?
No, man. I mean, yeah, Jammy Buffett will be out. We have a bunch more dates coming down the pipeline, and some that I'm super stoked about. That I don't think I can talk about yet, but it's gonna be a fun year. And thank you so much for your support, and you're helping
Yeah.
us get the ball rolling and stuff. And stoked to see all the success you're having as well.
Thanks, man. Well, we'll definitely get up soon when you're in Asheville. Dinner on me.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude, I'm in.
Another one.
All right, guys, we are here today with LaRue, the mastermind behind Wooking for Love, new dating game show based around the festivals. I guess let you describe it better.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're a reality TV dating show for the festival and music scene. So,
Hmm.
we're looking for love, and we are looking for the looks. But with our definition of look, I think really is meant to be a little more umbrella between life for music lovers or people who like music as part of their life, like an important
Yeah,
part of it.
and the Wook term can kind of be such a weird term sometimes. It can be used negatively or positively, so it's nice to see you using it in the positive term.
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people like they're definite. Like some people have like a purely negative definition of it. I think that we're really like trying to use a little bit of a broader, more endearing version of it, because I think that needing to borrow everything is can be a part of being a wook, but also seeing somebody missed out on didn't bring something themselves and offering that up to them also constitutes as wook behavior.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I guess let's just how did you come up with this idea? Like what inspired you to want to get this thing going?
Man, I like really started out because I'm just kind of a punny guy. Like I just like to just kind of like to make plays on words whenever possible. We were just sitting in my kitchen, my roommates and partner at the time. I watched a lot of reality TV, so I was like, we just need to get these wooks on a reality TV show. Call it Wooking for Love, and like that kind of like just fell together and was a joke for a long time. And then CityCast Denver made a post about a dating show that happened here and was just like, we didn't see any wooks. Like, we didn't see, like, where are the wooks? And so I just made kind of a response video to that. Not, I don't even know if I directly stitched them, but it just, like, it just blew up. It just, like, it hit really hard. And then my cousin, who has a film production company, pretty, like, small still, but, like, they've got like, a series out on YouTube that they worked on recently. Um, Hit me up and was like, "Hey man, like I think this is a bit of a bigger and better idea than you might even realize right away." And I was like, he's like, "I'd love to get in on this with you. Let's make this a project." And at that point, it was like, "Okay, this sounds fun. Like we can like do a little set of skits. We can like do like some short form stuff." And then like it just kept growing, and that video got over to over 120,000 views and stuff like that, and people started reaching out to me. Like I got hit up by AEG. I got hit up by I got hit up by all these different like articles that came out over like the past couple weeks. Like that was when felt like it really got wings. But we already started talking to venues and sponsors and everything. It just really like everybody was like, this is the idea and I need to be a part of it. So
Yeah, when did you like the initial idea come? Because like found the Instagram like when you guys had 600 followers, I messaged you like right away. I was like, gotta get this guy on.
yeah.
And then now you're already like almost at 4,000 followers in like 2 weeks. So like when did the
Yeah,
idea
and
first come to you?
I mean, the idea first came, I think, last summer. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe last summer, maybe this summer. But like the video is 3 months old. Like I made that first video the beginning of October,
Okay.
and like that. As far as like it as a like as an idea, it's maybe a year and a half old. As a project, like that has any seriousness behind it whatsoever, like less than 3 months.
And for the
So.
first season, it's all gonna be Denver people, right?
Yeah, so obviously, like Denver person is like kind of a loose term because we're a city of transplants.
Yeah.
So I'm not like going to be like strict, hardcore, born and raised Denver only people, but like we're definitely doing people here in Denver.
Okay. And I've watched some of these shows and they've always seemed like really scripted and like everything's kind of planned out. What's your guys' is it going to be like are we going to be at shows? Are we going to be like where are we going to be at doing all this?
Yeah, so I really want to use this opportunity to like it's going to be funny, and like the things that are funny, I think that we're really going to be setting up situations for people to have naturally funny interactions in them
Hmm.
rather than saying, okay, like you and this person have a scripted issue with each other and things. Like we're bringing in people with a lot of personality to begin with, which I think we have a great pool from just by
Yeah.
going into the community, obviously. Um, and then like we're gonna the situations, the challenges are gonna be written in a way that just offer for a lot of challenge. So I want to use this as an opportunity to kind of like shine light into like all of the different aspects of what makes the festival and music scene run. So their challenges are going to be things like setting up stages. They're going to be things
Okay.
like running vendor booths. They're going to be things like being, like choreographing as a performer and things
Nice.
like that, all the way down to things that are a little more like um, consumer side, or like a participant side, festival enjoyer side, not necessarily working in it, where we'll have them doing heady trades for as a scavenger hunt, or like even just running them through a day that is just absolutely jam packed full of like activities that are both Denver related, just kind of more Denver related, going
Yeah.
outside, get the brunches, the outdoor activities, but also then we will be going to shows. We'll be like we'll be taking them out to venues that are, we're we're working in partnership and sponsorship with some venues and things like that. So we'll be having them out at shows in the nighttime, and then also taking them to the afters, and then the afters, and seeing how like what an absolutely jam packed day of being a Wook does to you and your relationship at 6 a.m. the next morning. See if you still like each other, kind of thing.
So it's
But
not
yeah,
going
so
to
we have a
take
few.
place like one weekend at a festival. It's going to be multiple events.
No, no, no. It's going to be. We're doing 12 episodes. It's going to be a 6 week stay in the villa for the
Okay.
contestants. We're going to be taking them out to various sites around Denver. Both everything from the venues that they're doing the challenges at, to the restaurants and art museums that they're getting the prizes for winning the challenges to. And then every few episodes, we're going to be having a vibe check, to
Okay.
see if couples and thruples want to stay together, because we are doing both of those options for
Okay.
our contestants.
Now, the question that I think a lot of people are going to want to know, are the Wooks going to be spun?
So we're avoiding anything that's going to be too explicit, because we're not trying to put anybody in any danger. We're not trying
Hmm.
to have anybody doing anything that is like legally compromising, both for ourselves and for other people. Obviously getting spun is an aspect of the culture that we can't act like isn't part of it. And
Yep.
obviously people are inclined to do what they're going to do. We're not going to put any participants in any situation where they are coerced to take anything, where they're influenced to take anything, or where they're provided anything. We're
Okay.
bringing nothing but adults on this show, and I'm not checking people's pockets. If the people are going to do what they're going to do, we're going to have a medical staff on team, and we're going to have a mental health staff on team to make sure if people are, I'm not, again, I'm not following people into every bedroom watching
Yeah.
what they do. And we're not going to have people rifling through people's personal belongings. We are going to be watching out for, make sure people are medically safe and mentally safe, and
Okay.
responding accordingly to that. But we're also not going to be bringing on people who are clearly like deep in active addiction, because I think that's exploitative, and I
Absolutely.
don't want to be doing that to my community. Nor do I want to be representing the community, because even though it is part of it, it's not all of it. Because
Yeah.
we all know plenty of sober ravers. We know plenty of people who, all they do is smoke weed and they go to festivals every weekend of the year. You know what I mean? And like, we also know people who get super spun and fucked and don't, and like, there might be a reason for that. It might be a struggle they're going through, might be a neurological privilege they don't have to like where they can enjoy things in moderation. And so we want to make sure that we're bringing on people whose personality is a little more just derived from themselves, rather than it being because they're messed up all the time.
Yeah.
We're going to show like all the other aspects of the festival community as well. But the fact of the matter is like it takes a little piece of paper to get messed up, and
Yeah.
I'm not going through people's notebooks. And so if somebody's on camera like losing themselves in their hands, and it's not something like self-destructive or completely gonna ruin their entire life to have on camera, we'll enjoy people enjoying themselves.
That's a risk for them to take themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And again, our liabilities are making sure that because the same thing, you can drink too much alcohol
Yeah.
on any of these other shows and get belligerently violent. You can get ill. You can hurt yourself. And like the thing, like, but that's an adult making a decision. Again, we're not supporting anything. We're obviously not going to be providing anything. And again, I really don't want to glorify drug use in any way.
Absolutely.
I don't want to act like it's not part of the world that we live in. I think that you can find politicians doing it in just just as egregious manners as you can at a festival personally. But yeah, we're not this it's not going to be the central focus of things like I think a
Cool.
lot of people are expecting. I think we're going to be showing a lot more of the building, a lot more of um the general endurance race that is participating in things, and really uh trying to show like both like what draws us to each other, like in like finding so much beauty in like the festival scene, the community it brings, and also like the challenges that doing these things really like can place on a relationship.
Okay. And is there a prize at the end, or is the prize just you found love?
So, love should be the answer, right? Like that's what you should be here for. You want to find the book your forever ground score. And like I'm definitely looking for people who like that's what they're interested in. Um, and without giving you too much detail, because I can't because of the nature of it, I will say that there is some sort of prize involved.
Okay.
But that's kind of a FAFO thing that you're gonna have to experience as the show releases.
So is there like a timeline for like when filming will begin? When will we be seeing episodes like as is it going to be all recorded and then go out, or are we going to be getting the episodes kind of live as they be recorded?
So we're definitely doing it like a full post production
Okay.
release with a schedule and everything, and you'll be getting we might do a full release all at once, or we might do a weekly release, depending on what network we ultimately go with, or if we just go onto like platforms like YouTube. Uh, but there is a filming schedule. We have an upcoming event on Valentine's Day. A couple things still being like actually pinned into place, but it is absolutely happening. We're working with Rooster Mag as our sponsor for that event, as our lead sponsor for that event, and then Nova Studios, which is an after hours venue here in Denver, as
Okay.
our physical host for that. Um, we're going to be doing that as our auditions event. And from that point, we're going to be taking all our auditions. We're going to give ourselves 2 weeks to really cram in the decision making. And that's still going to involve a lot of like vetting and like, standard operations of just making sure that people are safe, that they're
Yeah.
mentally checked well, things like that. And then after that 30 days, after that 2 weeks, the plan is to get 30 days after that. So we'd probably be filming around April 1st.
Okay. Cool, man.
And
Yeah, it
then
seems
trying
like you
to,
guys. Go ahead.
and then hopefully releasing by the end of the year, next year.
Awesome. Sounds like you guys got a really solid plan, man. I'm excited to see how it goes. Do you have a background in like filmmaking production, or are you just the idea guy and then your
Not at all.
cousins? Okay.
I'm just, I'm just the idea guy, and like I'm a little bit of one of those people who like has the audacity to think I can figure anything out, especially if I can get some help around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I have been really blessed to have a lot of help around me. Um, as people have really come out of the woodworks in every direction. I have a team of people that include a pro bono lawyer. I have production member from Love Is Blind. I have a production member from Love Island. I have a social media person I just hired on who has worked with the Olympics and is working on Wicked.
Hell
I
yeah.
have a casting director who has an extensive history in like dating shows. Um, and that's before we were talking to people who've come on, started uh, offering financial backing, which has begun this week. So we're really looking at like this thing launching off properly in a big way. We have some meetings being set up with networks that I think that we're perfectly suited for, and then still have plenty of. I essentially I have like these different ways that it can go depending on who jumps on, right? With like we
Yeah.
can we can get this off of we can get this off of grassroots, no problem. Like it's gonna happen. Like that funding is all but like completely secured for us. A lot of like in-kind sponsorships from like our film, like our production being offloaded to back end, to like our home venues and our villa being offered as in-kind. So we've got a lot of things that are already set up to like I kind of can't lose at this point. Like I know that I can release this on YouTube and it's going to be great. But then we're also talking some bigger networks, which I'm really excited about. So um, there's a couple ways it can go depending on like what tier that we hit, but it's gonna happen one way or the other. And then after the first season, like it's bulls out the gate for sure.
Yeah, man. I'm like this. You got me fired up, man. This sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm
So
like
I
so
don't.
excited. I seriously like I feel like I'm living in a dream like every day. Like I even just like I've never been a phone call person, and I've spent hours and hours on the phone every day since this kicked off. So
Cool, man. Well, to just build some hype, people who are listening to this and they're maybe like still on the fence, just a quick little 30 to a minute elevator pitch. Tell them why when Wooking for Love comes out, why they should tune into it.
because it's going to be everything that you love about reality TV mixed in with things that make it a lot more authentic and genuine. You're going to be seeing people that you just wouldn't expect to because there's a formula for these shows, and we're throwing in a whole new recipe. It's going to be it's going to be taking these books into like hilarious situations and just like throwing them curveballs all the time, and like seeing how they pivot and they bounce back off situations. Everything is going to be like really irreverent and like self-referential. We're going to be like, if you're in the festival scene, I'm gonna be saying things that are gonna like absolutely get you on your back, because like we're gonna have a confessional booth, right? We are cutting wristbands to break people up. When you're single, you're a ground score. Like all of these things, like it's like tongue in cheek the whole time. And like I said, I'm a punny guy, so that's like really like where my strength lies, and like where the writing is like pouring out in that way. I just really think that if you miss this first season, you're gonna be at camp hearing about a bunch of stuff that you don't know, that
Yeah.
you wish you were tuned into. It's gonna become I just know it's gonna snowball into like a self-referential like inside joke between the whole community, which is like what we really
Yeah,
what
for
we really
sure.
all live for, right? Like
Absolutely. Well, LaRue, I can't wait, man. Where can we find you on socials to kind of keep up with everything?
Yeah, absolutely. So TikTok is definitely our biggest platform right now. We actually just got up to 7,500 followers on there from nothing a couple months
Yeah.
ago, and that's where we post up. Is just looking for love, all like one word. And then Instagram is probably the follow up on that, where we're looking_for_love. There are some socials out there that are looking for love as well for a dating show. That's actually a good friend of ours who's just happened to come up with the same name for a different idea really recently. We're super tight and spent hours and hours on the phone together, fully in support of each other. So if you see one of us, just know we're friends with the other. Even if you go to our respective websites, they point to each other. So
Okay.
we're looking for .love, and they're lookingforlove.com. But if you end up on either of those, you're a button click away from the other. So
Hell yeah.
um, but yeah, so TikTok and Instagram are where we're coming up with. But like I said, I just got a new social media manager, so expect us to have something on every platform, within the first week of the new year.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm going to keep my eyes peeled for it and looking forward to it. Thanks for coming on and telling us about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, Glenn.
You just got jammed.
Alrighty, guys. Welcome back from those interviews. I'm excited to see that show, Wooking for Love. Lucky for me, I already found my forever ground score. That's his joke, not mine. I didn't. He said that, not me.
Oh, nice. Is that his like little catchphrase?
There was that one, and then he said another one too. I can't think of it off the top of my head right now. But yeah.
Your rave bay.
Well, when you get,
I like ground score. That's fun.
it is fun.
I am
yeah.
a little ground goblin, aren't I?
You said it, not me.
I look nice today, so I look like I would be up in the air, not on the ground.
Well, we're recording this on Friday because I think we talked about it on Monday's episode, or I guess Thursday's episode, yesterday's episode.
We get a vacation. We're taking a little cabin getaway. This sweet little family of ours.
So we're doing it before the weekend. We're going to see Clouds of Delusion right after this.
Hence the tie-dye bandana.
Yeah. So we're gonna be there tonight. But yeah, then we'll be gone all weekend. The episode will still go out. It's out right now. You're listening to it.
Lucky you guys.
Lucky you.
Lucky you. This is the one.
We do have a few topics today though, so I'll start with the So if you listen to I'll start with the Billy Strings and Jimmy Herring thing.
Okay.
So if you listen to the Tom and Jason interview, I was all like, why would Billy Strings take New Year's off and then go play with someone else when Tom suggested that he would be playing with Phish. And then when he played with Widespread, I was kind of like...
You were kind of like a bit annoyed.
I mean, I wasn't annoyed. It's none of my business what he does, but...
No, but we like our Billy New Year's, and it was like, I think maybe it was okay to feel a little bummed that...
Yeah, it was just like, I was kind of confused. Like, if you took this time off for your family, why would you still go do a 3-night run with someone that's not your band?
Mm-hmm.
But then it came out Thursday that Jimmy Herring's not doing so hot, and he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to play. And Billy, just being the good guy that he is, went and dropped it. And just in case he was there.
Yeah. Yeah, so he put out a statement, and it was basically like, he basically thanked the band and was like, it wasn't really guaranteed that Jimmy Herring would be able to play through the entirety of all 3 shows. And so they invited Billy to kind of just be there to stand in if need be, keep the same energy, be able to bring the same like excitement, but also help out a friend of his. And Jimmy Herring ended up being able to play all 3 nights of all 3 shows, and so he sat in with them. He was there anyway, there to help friends. So
hopefully Billy gets his New Year's off next year.
Yeah, we'll see. I bet, though, it is less of a mental tax when it's not your
Yeah, you don't
event.
have to make a set list. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do
you're just
that.
there to rip.
And, like, I'm sure, like, he got to go to a Widespread show for 3 nights.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure he has somewhere to stay in Atlanta. That was perfectly fine.
Yeah. So,
Get well soon, Jimmy Herring.
well, it said that he's taking a step back from music, and they
Nick
have
Johnson is
Nick
sitting
Johnson coming in to take his place for a bit, but he is expected to make a full and healthy recovery, but he has tonsil cancer. So it's like, you kind of don't really want, I guess you don't really want to push that, you know? Stage 1, he is going through treatment and going to be okay, but...
Nice, you're tapped in on this.
I did some research. I wanted to read up to try to figure. I tried to look up this Nick Johnson guy. There's another Nick Johnson guitarist, and he's the guitarist for Mastodon. And I was like, there's no fucking way they have the guitarist for Mastodon.
Nick Johnson play before?
He had played with Colonel Bruce Hampton.
Okay.
He had played. I saw he played a bit with the Allman Brothers. I believe. So
he's a little on the older side.
Yeah. Well, no. He's younger. He got the back end of a lot of these. I don't know what his most recent one was, but yeah, I mean, that's very exciting for him, and he's played with Jimmy Herring.
With Bruce Hampton, I'm guessing.
And I mean, he's played with Jimmy Herring some, but yeah, it says that he was like under the wing of Bruce Hampton. Okay. I read a couple different things. I don't know.
I think Aquarium Rescue Unit, Colonel Bruce Hampton's band, Jimmy Herring played in, so they probably played in that together.
Nice.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
that dude's got some work to do though.
I read through a couple articles. I didn't see how right my sources were. I would genuinely just scan them at work, so I could be getting all this wrong. It could be like he was influenced by this. Oh, he played with him.
We don't fact check.
But he did play with Colonel Bruce Hampton on the tail end of that stuff. I saw something about being under his wing.
Well, he has 2 weeks to learn some stuff because they have their Playa, Panic in La Playa. They're like,
ooh, that's
like 2 weeks. So he's probably nose to the grindstone learning these tunes right now.
That's fun. That's good for him. And then on the topic of Billy, there was a new song that came out with Brian Sutton.
Devil Went Down Deep Gap.
Deep Gap. Devil Went Down to Deep Gap. It is it's Doc Watson playing against the devil.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Doc wins.
It's kind of a
you could be honest.
Yeah, I don't love it. I like the idea, like it's fun. I'm sure it was really fun for them.
I'm sure it's very fun live.
The whole bit is fun.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's a blast to play. And the music, like the picking is fun. But I just thought the singing kind of was goofy at times.
I thought
they're
that
talking, singing.
But I mean, that's how the song is. Devil Went Down Georgia.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I think they did a good rendition of that song. I agree that like maybe the words are a bit cheesy, but is that just because it's relaying it to someone that we know of?
And they're just having fun. Like I think that was. I guess they're always just having fun. But
the boys be playing. I thought truthfully, I think the devil wins in the song. The devil comes out pretty rock heavy
Yeah, if he's
in
the
this
like
electric
metal part,
guitar.
yeah.
That's what it kind of seemed like, that he was that rock guitar. Wow, the devil's kind of fun.
That Brian Sutton dude's fucking gnarly.
Is he the one that's playing that part? Do you know?
I don't know. Maybe it's
wonder
both
when
of them because I read somewhere that they're both like really
Heavy
into like
metal.
heavy music. So
Yeah.
someone's
wonder when
playing
they first
drums in
debuted
it
this.
too, and I think Billy fucks around the drums.
Really?
Yeah, so maybe I'm just making stuff in my head now. I
Yeah,
don't
we're
know.
just
Spitballing
we're
here.
just spitballing. We're just making it up as we go. I want to know if they perform that live. I want to know who plays what parts.
I don't think they'll play that one live.
Ever? They've never played that live, you think?
I don't think so.
Have they ever played Double One Down to Georgia?
That I don't know. I mean, they couldn't play it live unless there was a drum kit on the stage.
Unless they were in Deep Gap.
Yeah. I didn't know that. What's the name? Whatever Doc Watson's real name is. I can't remember what it was. While we're on the topic too, well, we're not on the topic of it anymore. I don't think we've talked about it.
I have the people are going to see me keep trying to pick my nose. I have a little scab at the end of my nose, and I just have to point it out because
If you're watching on YouTube, rewind 10 seconds, watch Clay pick her nose.
I've been doing it the entire back end of it. I keep getting up there.
I know we
Sorry.
talked about Tommy and Jason. Was that in the intro? I don't know. We talked about Tommy and Jason.
Mhm.
There was one of the topics of that was Taper's Choice, and they're announced they're playing in Asheville next month.
Ooh, so I don't know this part of the conversation. What is Taper's Choice?
I don't know if Jason was like fucking with me or not. But
Is that the one you showed me the other night?
no.
Oh.
It's like it's a dude from Vampire Weekend, a dude from Arc Iris, they're all dudes from like established bands that make like it's almost like it's really good. The music's good, but they're like just jamming, and it's like their description is like we're a jam band, and it's like maybe are they just doing a bit?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's good music, and they're obviously touring, and they're gonna sell tickets because it's good. But I don't know if it's just like a jam band bit or what it
How far
is.
do the people let the bit go? They're touring.
And like I said, I never even really heard of them until Jason brought them
brought 'em.
up, and he was like, "They're the best jam band. Like they do whatever." And you know how Jason is about jam bands too, so
Mhm.
he's probably listening right now. Like, I need to defend myself.
Jason loves a band, I will say.
But it's funny, like Vampire Weekend is in like there's one dude from Vampire Weekend, and Vampire Weekend has done a couple songs with Goose.
Really?
So I don't know if maybe they've like 2021 I think is what it's called. Yeah, they've done a couple. Maybe it's just one song with Goose, but maybe they've been trying to get, or that one guy's been pushing for that. And
Yeah.
So I'm not 100% sure, but
That's fun on them.
yeah,
Oregon Fairchild released a new song.
they did. Funky.
They did.
Shouts out the fellas at Oregon Fairchild.
You got so it's called Sapana.
Seppuku.
Very beautiful. So I really like this song. Since my drive home, I've listened to this song 5 times now. Very melodic start, very like beautiful, easy start, and then just before halfway through, the keys kind of pick up and it gets very funky.
Yeah.
And there's a super cool like funky electric guitar. The drums kind of get a bit heavier. The bass, the like undertone of the bass gets a little bit like darker, funkier, and heavier. I felt like a little snake in a basket. I get charmed a little bit. And I didn't tell you, they had reached out to me and they had asked to use my likeness for the cover album, for the cover photo.
Really?
Yep, look it up.
How'd they reach out to you? Just through the Instagram?
I deleted it.
What?
Sapana.
You're the picture on it? What? No way. Where is it?
Oh, goodness me.
Should I go to their Instagram?
Here.
Is it on Instagram?
I don't know.
That is crazy. Is it on Spotify or something?
Here.
I feel like you might be fucking with me the way you're laughing too.
Where is it?
Oh my god. You're so annoying. You're so annoying, dude.
Look at her. She looks just like me.
You had me so
I
excited.
know. I had that whole thing planned the whole drive home. Yeah, it's not me. It's not me. It's a very beautiful, curvaceous woman.
It's funny because like I remember
Dude, you were so excited.
I remember seeing that earlier today, and I was like, I feel like I would have remembered like seeing the cover and being like, oh, that's something about Chloe.
No. I just wanted to play a prank. I just wanted to prank you.
Well, you got me.
I know, and then when it was taking so long for you to pull it up, I should have been better prepared for my prank. I almost forgot to do it.
Well,
I should have been better prepared because it was taking a while, and then I was like, do I just spoil it? But yeah, it's not me, guys. Maybe next one. I also had I was thinking about their merch because
I can't believe you.
it was funny. I was thinking about their merch because I did want to buy some of their merch when we were there, but I do believe we need to up the merch game a little bit. So I have a couple ideas. I'm going to sketch them up. Band's name is Organ Fairchild. I am going to draw a child made out of organs on a Ferris wheel. And
That's what I thought you were saying like they need more women's sizes or something. You just want them to do.
I'm going to make their merch.
Okay.
I'm going to draw up a few pieces for you. Actually, I've been promising a lot of drawings recently. I can't even draw. I have a list of 5 people I now have to draw pictures for. I'm dedicated to this idea of drawing this organ Fairchild. I know that in organ you mean the instrument. I'm going to draw a boy made of organs.
Or you could do a boy made out of the state of Oregon.
Nah. But that's Oregon.
Oregon.
So, that's all my 2 cents is.
Yeah.
Sorry for the prank, guys.
There's the
It's
first
funny.
prank on the show.
I'm pranked. Ooh, you got pranked. Got you so good.
Alrighty, guys. Have a great week. We'll see you again on Thursday. And remember, wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be.
Well, all jammed up, hey, that's where it's going down. Best damn pot in this old Asheville town. More than enough old stories to go around. And I'm all jammed up right now. Yes, I'm all jammed up right now.